So this is the Apple Watch Series 7, currently the latest smartwatch in Apple's lineup and the most full-featured high-end smartwatch, especially for iPhone users, and since its launch has been much praised as the smartwatch to get. But it's been more than 6 months since I've personally been using the Series 7, and I'm here to actually tell you why I think it's still the best smartwatch in 2022. Hey, what's going on guys, Dre here and welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get into today's video, if you're new to the channel and this is your first time seeing one of my videos, hey, welcome. I'm Dre and my passion mostly surrounds tech, lifestyle and photography. So on this channel, I mostly do videos related to these topics, which would normally cover unboxings, reviews, tips and tricks. So if that is something you're into, then definitely consider subscribing. Alright, so for today's video, I want to share my thoughts and my experience with the Series 7. Now, as I mentioned before, I've been wearing the Series 7 for more than 6 months now, which is pretty much since it was launched late last year. And spoilers for those who just want to know, it's an exceptional smartwatch, possibly the best on the market right now. But let me dive into actually telling you guys why I do consider this to still be the best smartwatch out right now. First off, let's talk about the design. Where the design of the Series 7 is concerned, the approach is definitely much like its predecessor, the Series 6. Though on the Series 7, we definitely have a larger casing and a larger display, which definitely has some added benefits, which I'll definitely speak on a little later on in the video. But the edges here on the Series 7 are more rounded, which is something I actually do much prefer. And the borders around the edges are slimmer too, which also boasts a slight curve that allows you to get just a glimpse of the very edge of the display when viewed from side on, which is something that I absolutely love. Now, as I said earlier, the casing on the Series 7 is slightly larger, which means we have new sizes, with the 41mm being the smallest size and the 45mm being the largest. Of course, I have the largest 45mm size, which I think is the perfect size for my wrist. Needless to say that there are going to be different color variations that you would be able to choose from, while aluminum, stainless steel and titanium are the material case variations that are being offered. The titanium obviously is going to be the most premium and the most expensive of the lot. In terms of weight and comfort of my 45mm aluminum case, well, it weighs around 51 grams, which is not heavy by any means, and it's actually quite comfortable to wear throughout an entire day. Now I want to come back quickly for a minute to the larger 1.9-inch OLED display here on the Series 7. There are definitely some benefits that I said earlier to actually having a bigger screen that I really appreciate for my day-to-day usage. For one, I'm actually able to get more information on the display, which is also gonna be really bright. So it definitely makes reading notifications and messages less of a struggle, especially in those much brighter outdoor environments. Secondly, Apple took the opportunity to put a touch-sensitive keyboard in the watch, so you can, go ahead and tap out a quick message on the run. Now, to be honest, the keyboard here is still fairly small, and I do sometimes find myself struggling to type out the right words, but I do find that autocorrect was surprisingly accurate thanks to Siri and helpful with all my typos. So using something like swipe gestures to type, I find to be more faster and accurate, but it's still slower than using something like your voice to send a message. Either way, it's a nice option to have in a pinch. Now, a lot of people have been wondering how durable is the Series 7, and I personally actually was pretty curious to see how well it would actually stand up to months of daily use. Well, I can safely and I can happily say that it will actually handle the average daily use very well. It's first of all fully dust resistant with a IP6X rating and a WR50 water resistant rating of up to 50 meters. So you can definitely take this watch into the shower or even go diving or for a quick swim if you'd like, without ever having to worry. The glass on the display has been reinforced, so it will be harder to get dents and scratches on the watch, but I'm sure if you try hard you could. Now, I've managed to keep my Series 7 looking almost new after more than 6 months of daily use. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy so far with the durability of my Series 7. But let's speak about the battery performance and just the overall performance here on the Series 7. So, alright, disappointingly, I think the battery performance on the Series 7 is where I think Apple actually dropped the ball. It's not terrible battery life, with it being around 309 milliamp hour battery, but most days I do usually end my days with around 40% battery life remaining, and that's with the usual always on display, getting notifications and active fitness tracking. Now, that's definitely not enough juice for another full day, of course, and using the workout feature on the Series 7 will definitely deplete the battery even more. So it's definitely going to be a device you'll mostly charge overnight. Now, of course, this will actually going to be dependent on your usage pattern, so your mileage may vary. The saving grace, however, is that you do get faster charging thanks to a redesigned USB-C charging plate, which will get the Series 7 from 0 to around 80% in around 45 minutes, with just about an hour to get it to full charge, based on my experience. So it's pretty convenient if you actually want to use the watch for tracking your sleep if you want. You can just pop the Series 7 on the charger after waking up in the morning, and you're more than likely to reach 100% by the time you've finished making and eating breakfast and are ready to leave the house. It's important to note that you're going to need to have a compatible wall plug of around 18 or 20 watts in order to actually get those fast charging speeds. The overall performance though of the Series 7 in my experience though is what we have all come to expect. It's snappy, it's smooth, it's responsive, it has really good sensors that are just very accurate. Hey, if you're finding value in this video so far, then go ahead and hit that like button, and while you're at it, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. That would be a massive help, and for you to actually also become a part of this growing community. Okay, let's get straight back to the rest of the video. Now, I want to turn your attention to what I believe is one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing, that makes the Apple Watch perhaps the best smartwatch, and the Series 7 here is gonna be no exception, and that's the health and fitness features. Now, to begin with, Apple really does make its health, fitness, and heart sensors easy to use and very reliable. It's the same health, fitness, and heart sensors that are on the Series 6, which includes the ECG sensor, blood oxygen sensors, Apple's 3rd gen optical heart sensor, fall detection, NFC, compass, GPS, yeah, it's all there. But as far as fitness tracking is concerned, the Series 7 actually offers a growing list of exercise options, and that's going to include dance, hiking, Pilates, and plenty more alongside the more traditional and standard running, cycling, and walking options. But the fitness tracking on the Series 7 goes beyond just counting steps or tracking calories. Instead, it's focusing more on your overall health, differentiating between movement and actual exercise, and encouraging you to stand more than you already might. And that's where activity rings come into play. On the Series 7, you'll be tasked with closing 3 rings each day. One for your calories, one for your total exercise minutes, and one for how many hours you've spent on your feet. Now, filling these rings will result in you receiving a digital reward, which is actually a nice feeling to know that you've hit a goal for the day. Now, trust that the watch will remind you to stand up if you've been sitting for too long, or push you to work harder with monthly challenges designed to help you reach specific goals, which really does help with motivation, which I've experienced. Now, there are just tons and tons of health and fitness focus features on the Series 7 that have been really good to have and has been so useful as well, which is what sets this smartwatch above the rest. But there are definitely other useful features on this Series 7 that I must mention. So Apple offers the Series 7 with both Wi-Fi and LTE connections. The version I have and have been using is the Wi-Fi only, and I'm still able to take calls on the watch, but only if I have my iPhone nearby. And the speakers are really good for taking calls. Now, I've been definitely taking quite a few calls on the Series 7, and it has been sounding really clear. I had no connection issues, and I also realized that persons on the other end of the call were hearing me quite well. I had absolutely no complaints. Now, the new watch faces are also pretty unique and has caught the attention of a number of persons that actually complimented the look on numerous occasions. I mean, the Series 7 is just a very good smartwatch. In fact, as I said in the introduction of the video, it's still, in my opinion, the best smartwatch in 2022, especially if you're an iPhone user. But the big question is, should you buy the Series 7? Well, if it's gonna be your first smartwatch as an iPhone user and you want the best of the best, then that's a definite yes. It's pretty much a no-brainer in my opinion. I mean, it actually does everything that the previous Series 6 did, but better. It has larger screen, a sleeker look, better durability, faster charging, and of course, it has a great set of health and fitness features. I'm just not particularly happy with the battery performance at all. And I'm hoping Apple fixes this issue with the Series 8. Whether you should upgrade from an older model is not such a straightforward answer. I think if you have a Series 6, then I'd say stick with it, as there aren't really any significant upgrades on the Series 7 when compared to the Series 6 to really justify upgrading now. If you have the Series 5 or older, then yeah, go right ahead. The Series 7 is worth the upgrade. Or if you want, you can just wait on the Series 8, which is expected to be released later on this year around the fall period. But yeah, the Series 7, pretty solid. I'm actually pretty happy with it for the most part. If you happen to have a Series 7 and you want to share your thoughts and your opinions on it, then let me know down in the comments. What are your experience with using the Series 7? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, that has been it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching to the end. I truly appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed as yet. Also, remember to leave a like on the video. That will be helpful in getting this video suggested more. Thanks again for all the support, and I'll definitely see you guys again in my next video.